Hello YouTubing, and welcome to episode number 9. So it is now the weekend, hooray! And for this weekend I've decided to go somewhere a little bit different to what I usually do. Usually I'm at Melbury Reservoir down on the season ticket, just because it doesn't cost anything. This weekend a little bit different, so I decided to treat myself to go somewhere else, and I am at Digger Lakes again. I'm in a swim known as the Big Junction. I've been here before on one of my previous blogs. I think it was episode 6 or something like that. So you can go back and check that out if you haven't already seen it. That was the one where I kind of got like snowed in, or snowed out if you like, because I left at like 3 in the morning. So completely different scenario this time round. This swim looks completely different. There is greenery everywhere, weed beds, lilies, you name it, it's there. So I had to sort of like, I got here for about 2 o'clock, and I really had to sort of like lead around in the swim for a while, probably about an hour, to try and find, you know, a clear spot, because where I was planning on fishing is a massive weed bed now. So it just shows you that, you know, going away from somewhere, coming back, it's not always the same situation. So where I wanted to fish is a massive weed bed, so I've had to sort of like, you know, re-lead around and find a couple of clear spots. So I'll show you where I'm fishing in a minute. I've got one at 9.5 wraps towards the sort of like far bank, just next to a lily, like a big lily bed there. There's a nice bit of gravel there, get a bit of a tap on the lead. So I've put one out there, put 10 spoms out. I actually got my spom out, never ever really use it, I always use a throwing stick, but I've mixed in sort of with my baiting situation this time, a bit of sweet corn and a bit of crushed boilie as well, because in here, I mean, you can use it. It's not too bad at all. So I've done that on one of my rods, and the other rod is probably about, I think it was about 5 wraps just straight out in front of me. As I said, this place is quite small. It's not big open water here, though this is one of the biggest swims. So that's what I've done. I'll show you all that in a minute. Bait wise, I'm using solid PVA bags, just pellet with a Bunchy Berry 12mm pop up at the moment. It's nice and bright, like fluorescent, sort of like purple if you like, and that's out with a bit of a spod mix of sweet corn and the krill boilie, just mashed up in the grinder, just in my spod bucket. I'll show you all that in a bit as well. So I'm not expecting anything to happen for a while. Number one, it's really hot, so whether or not we get anything this weekend, I'm not too sure. I know a couple of the guys that I speak to come here quite a lot, regulars. Hasn't been fishing that well, not on snails anyway. I've got the feeling that's down to the heat. So I say I'm not expecting anything to happen for a while, because I've just thrashed the water to a foam and I've been spotting. So yeah, bivvy's nicely back away from the water's edge again, like I was in the week on my previous blog, and everything is pretty much set, ready to go now. So leave it there, and I'll show you where I'm fishing. Right then, so I'll show you the spots where I'm fishing. Okay, left hand rod straight out in front of me, right on the tip of the reed bed over there. You can see that, probably about a rod length off of it back this way, because the other side of that is where there's like that Canadian pondweed stuff, like a bed of it there. So presenting a bait there would be quite hard. So just moved it a rod length off, and just put sort of like 3 or 4 spoms out, and then the right hand rod is way over there. See the lily bed there, probably about half a rod length off of that. to the right hand side of it. So that is where that is. So hopefully that's where all the gravel is and whatnot down there. So see if I can just do something with my finger, show you just sort of like this area here. So that's where that is, and we'll see what happens. At the moment I haven't really seen anything, but then again, like I said, I had been, you know, doing quite a lot of bits and bobs. So I'm just going to leave them there, and we'll see what happens. They've been out and cleared out some of the debris and the overgrowth, if you like, because it was quite overgrown in these swims at one point. But you know, sometimes that can work to your advantage, because obviously it gives you cover, but obviously there's a point where, you know, they have to cut it back. So but it's okay, you know, like I say, I'm far enough. I'm probably a good 6-7 foot away from the water with the bivvy right back here. I just sort of put it here as well. I could have put it in the corner, but I just wanted to keep an eye on the water just so I could really see what was going on, because otherwise I'm just sat in the bivvy looking at nothing all weekend. So yeah, that's that, and I'll show you the bucket with the spod. So this is this weekend's delicacy. As you can see, it's just a nice mix of whole boilie, chop boilie, with the krill glug and sweet corn. Simple as that, really. I don't really go overboard with it. You know, I think keeping it simple is probably the best thing to do most of the time. So that's the delicacy that we're using this weekend. It stinks and it's got a bit of colour to it, so hopefully that will do the business. Well, I reckon in a minute I'm going to be playing hook a bloody duck. That's the problem with fishing this place sometimes, is the wildlife here. The lake's not very deep at all. It's probably only about 3 or 4 foot over where I'm fishing at the moment, and they are bombing the hell out of my bait. They've backed off a little bit now, but they're just hanging around. So if I get a run in the middle of the night, it might well be a duck. But on a plus point, I am seeing a little bit of bubbling out there. Just the odd 1 or 2 coming up, but it seems to be a little bit of activity over there. So fingers crossed, you never know. My record of this place isn't great. However, I'm pretty confident today. Don't know why, I've just got this feeling that I'm going to get one. So, and I'm really confident with a solid bag approach. Like, solid bag fishing is my sort of fishing, really. If I could use it in the reservoir all the time, I would, but unfortunately, because of the bream in there, it's a bit of an issue. But this is definitely, you know, my style of fishing, the solid bag approach. There's definitely bubbling going on out there. I can see it. You probably can't see it on the camera. Right, time for a cup of coffee. Hello. So I thought I'd do my last piece of camera for the night. Starting to lose the light a little bit now, so it's getting on for about 9:30. I think we've gone past the equinox or whatever it is, so from now on the time of light goes down a little bit. So yeah, nothing's happened yet. It's still pretty quiet. I've seen a little bit of activity though, and I've just got the binos out a minute ago. Where are they? These, always have a pair of these with you. I've just seen one just sort of cruising below the surface, so I know that they are around. It's just a case of whether or not we're going to get a bite. So yeah, I haven't really done too well in the night here, but that's not to say that that won't change. Haven't fished it in the summer. I fished it all winter, but not in the summer. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave everything where it is, and take it from there in the morning, I guess. may have a move. Who knows? Depends what happens. But yeah, at the moment, quiet, which it always is here. So, but you never know, might get one. So, fingers crossed. Solid bags. Anyway, I'll leave it there. And if you don't see me in the night, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. So, as you can see from the lack of footage, didn't have any action last night, unfortunately. Not nothing at all. Not a bleep, not nothing. So, kettle's on. Just waking up a bit. It's probably about 9 o'clock now, but I've been sort of awake from about 7 really. So just had a recast, and we'll see what we can do again today. The weather's quite hot though. I mean, it's going to be hard work because it's, you know, 25, 26 degrees again. So I have been looking, but the water is flat calm. Haven't seen anything at all. So I'm going to make a coffee, sort of wake up a little bit, and then see what we can do. I may well have a walk around the lake, just to see if I can see anything. Maybe have a move, depending, because I don't think there's a lot here. So yeah, if I can find some fish, I might move on to them. But anyway, we'll see. I'll have this coffee first, wake up, and I'll take it from there. So while it's quiet, I just thought I'd show you what I use for how I make my PVA bags. So basically I just have a 2 kilo little bucket, just filled with pellet, and then everything PVA wise just stays in the top of the bucket. So I've got a little scoop, the Tasker tool. Basically it's kind of like the Fox reloader, same sort of thing, but I always end up tying my bags with tape, which is above that. Pair of scissors to trim everything down, the bags, and then the finished product already made up. It's like that. So nice and compact, load of pellet in there. What I'm going to do with my next bag is I've got a little injector, so I'm going to stick a injection of the pure krill liquid into one in a minute. Never done that before. So, and that's the top of the Avid bag stem, where you can just like loop it on. It makes it really like fast to change. You just loop one off and loop one on. That's so good. So I just thought I'd show you that anyway, just to show you my little PVA setup. Good afternoon, everyone. Right, it's just about 12 o'clock just gone. Still not a lot happened. I've just had a rechuck, and I injected the bags with the Sticky's krill liquid, which is down there on top of my bucket. So yeah, quite a good little approach, that quite a handy tip that I got from that. So I've put that one out, and I've moved it, right out in front of me, in between that big lily pad and the little one on the left. It is a bit weedy out there. It is quite choddy, but it's in a solid bag, so I'm thinking it'll be all right. And my theory is even if the bag sinks into the weed a little bit, the liquid will draw the fish down. So that's what I'm hoping on. It's been out there for about an hour, and I have had 3 or 4 bleeps off of that rod. So hopefully that will that'll produce something, but you never know. The right hand rod, same again, fishing over by that far tree, right up tight to the bank as well. Same again. It is quite choddy, but you know, it's on a solid bag, so shouldn't make too much of a difference. And I'm quite confident with the solid bags. I've had some really good results on them, so yeah. Put a few freebies out there. Like I say, the less down rod has been, up until now, bleep, bleep, bleep. So I know that there's something out there. I've seen a few bubbles as well. So I've sat here with my little binos. It sounds stupid, but like from here I can't really sort of see it properly, but with the binos I can see the whole top of the water. So I've seen a few little bubbles there, so you never know. Right, catch you later. If only I had a BB gun. I wouldn't do that to him. He's just trying to live, isn't he? Oi, Rodentos! Rodente! See? Just doesn't care. Get away from my rods! He did actually listen to me. Rodentos! Rodentos! Really doesn't care. I don't know what he's trying to eat because I've cleaned everything up. There's no mess today. There was a little bit of park out there yesterday, but there's not now. I think he lives in the hedge. I think that's his house. See how close he comes. Gone down the... Oh, he's gone. I know what he's doing. Actually went in the water to get food. Oh my god. Yo. Guess what? Nothing's happened. Absolutely nothing. All day. Not one run. Which is pretty dire. Don't know what to say about this one really. My good idea is turning into a bad idea really fast. That's all I'll say about it. I'll go somewhere different. Yeah, no, don't think so. So nothing has happened at all. Going into night 2, I mean, I don't know, I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, this place is slow, but this is ridiculous. So I've decided that I'm going to give it till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. If nothing's happened by then, that's going to be it. Because it's just a waste of time being here. So, but it is what it is, you know. It's the same for everyone. It's not just me, so which is good, kind of, if you want to call that good. So yeah. So right, I'm going to leave this one here for the evening, and I will catch you probably tomorrow by the looks of it, empty-handed, unless I get a fish, and then I'll be happy again. Right, see you later. Good morning. So from the lack of footage last night, nothing happened again. Yeah, very, very quiet. It's about 10 o'clock now, starting to get really hot again. I was going to pack up and go home, but I've literally just seen a fish bosh right above my baited area. So for that reason, I've decided to stay until 2, just to see if anything happens. He's just come up, he's right down in the channel, just come right up, boshed around, and then disappeared again. But if they're there, then
worth staying, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do. Just sort of like hang around till 2 o'clock. Just going to leave everything out there. I'm not going to bring it in. I'm not going to disturb it. I'm just going to leave it and see if I can do something with it. It looked quite a good fish as well, probably about a 20. So yeah, I don't really know what else I can do. I don't really want to go disturbing it over there or anything like that. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to see if anything produces until 2 o'clock. So until then, I'll speak to you later. Good afternoon. About 1 o'clock now. Unfortunately, even though I seen that fish earlier, nothing has really happened. So I'm just about to start slowly packing down all the gear now. Leave the rods out till 2 o'clock just in case, but at the moment it ain't looking too clever. So if I do get one, I'll put it in at the end of this. So yeah, my good idea turned into a bad idea. It's 2 blanks in a row now. So but to be fair, nothing has come out of here all weekend. According to one of the bailiffs who just come round, he's fishing on Brick Point. He ain't had nothing. So yeah, one of those, I'm afraid, but that's the nature of this place. Sometimes more than used to it. Like, you know, the fishing here are nice, but it's hard work, very hard work sometimes, and when you've got the weather like this, it really doesn't help the situation. So never mind, but I still enjoyed it. You know, if I wasn't here I'd be moaning. So right, I'll leave it there then. If I do get anything in the last hour, then I'll put it at the end of the blog. It's not looking too clever though, because the sun's right up now and the temperature is, you know, pretty hot again. So I'll leave it there. I won't be out for a couple of weeks, I don't think, because I've got work next weekend and things like that. So I'm not too sure when I'll do my next one, but it won't be too far away. So right, until then guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, and take lines.